Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet. Engage. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Welcome to The Greatest Generation, The Next Generation, starring Adam Pranica. I'm also here. I'm Ben Harrison. Welcome to your show, Adam.
Jesus.
The star of the show.
Oh, that's right, because I won last week.
You won, much to my chagrin.
And this is what I win. I win that show open.
You win 4 of these. I don't know why I made it 4. That's going to be such a long time that I have to do that.
You know, there are conversations professional comedians have that go something like, what's the funniest number? Like, is 4 funnier than 3? I think we know 4 is a lot funnier than 3. 4 is really funny.
God damn it. What a compliment.
So what happens next week? Because here's a little glimpse behind the pod. I'm sure longtime FODs know we go back and forth on the open of the show. Does that mean you open the next 4 shows or something like that?
No, it's the next ones I open the show with.
Okay.
This is on me. You don't have to do that. I mean, if you want to, you can, I guess. But
I give it my own spin for myself.
I'm going to count that toward the total if you do it. Let's just
fair.
say that.
Yeah. Let's raise the stakes every episode and make it more and more of an introduction for me. That sounds fun.
We got to add you and me like holding microphones behind our backs like we're about to stab each other with them to the show art so that, people kind of get the vibe that's going on around here.
I like the repurposing of the mic as a weapon that we use against each other. That makes sense.
It's pretty good.
Maybe like a Major League Domjot style logo where like instead of the Nausicaan knife, it's a very blunt and foamed microphone going through one of our chests through and through style.
Yeah. The trouble with these mics that we use is they don't really look like anything in silhouette,
Yeah. We chose different foams for our SM7s. I think if we were to see that in profile and like with no detail, it might look like something else completely bursting out of your chest.
Oh, God!
I don't know why I switched the foam on mine at some point. I don't remember having any basis for doing that. And yet, here we are.
I went little foam for traveling with it.
That's smart.
And that's made all the difference.
It's a game of inches. As it is in today's sexy-ass episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Truly.
Season 1, Episode 11. It's called Haven.
Make it so. Make it so.
It's another R&R, like, hey, we're at a really pretty planet, and we're here to do some maxing and a little bit of relaxing.
When you're assigned the Federation flagship, is your assumption that it's going to be mostly diplomatic missions / shore leave? Or is it mostly going to be like high tension contact with aliens who might hate you, or a mix of both? Because I'm really glad you called it out. Like there have been kind of a lot of, we have found a beautiful planet and we hope to spend more time than we'll end up getting here.
Yeah, are they the pointy end of the spear, or are they doing like a lot of ribbon cuttings and like formalities?
I really don't know.
Kind of feels like they didn't know yet in the writer's room which of the two it was going to be.
I felt like original series Star Trek was a lot like this too. I mean, there was a lot of diplomacy and break-em-ups that
Right.
Kirk's Enterprise was doing, but also a lot of exploration. Like, hey, let's check out this neat planet.
Let's check out this neat planet if the asshole functionary from the Federation that I unfortunately have on board will allow it.
Yeah.
Which he won't.
I was opposed to this from the very beginning.
The legend of Haven is that men's souls heals hearts. This is a legend unsupported by the observational research that Data has familiarized himself with.
Is this configuration Picard on a mostly empty bridge with only Data and Geordi to talk to kind of the worst configuration of the bridge and its personnel for Picard?
Yeah.
Because you've got Data, who just does not understand metaphor or context or subtext or anything.
Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes over my head.
And Geordi, who doesn't understand women.
Total bullshit.
What's he supposed to do?
No Worf, no Wesley in this episode.
Yeah.
Which are really the salt and pepper of the show. They really bring out flavors you might not have even noticed if they weren't there.
Ladies and gentlemen, salt and pepper!
We leave this very unfortunate bridge config and go down to Riker's quarters, where I guess he's like on lunch break or something.
Yeah, you want to take this kind of lunch in the quarters, don't you?
Yeah.
How closely did you look at these harp ladies?
Not close enough that I noticed anything in particular about them.
I thought left-hand harp lady was Denise Crosby.
Oh.
And I could not find confirmation of this anywhere.
Dang.
Denise Crosby in a wig?
I mean, Denise Crosby's hair goes through some permutations in this episode, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's her.
Do you get the sense that this is a mini holodeck interactive thing, or is this like watching a holographic music video that Riker's enjoying?
Madonna's always like masturbating during her videos. Yeah, so am I, you know.
I kind of think it's the latter.
I think so too.
It's one of these season 1 things where they show like holograms in places that they never show them again. Like there's that graphic a couple of episodes ago that comes up out of the table in the conference room that showed them the electric lines connecting the planet to the Ferengi ship and theirs. They lost the will to holo on this show.
It's true. God, I hate being interrupted when I'm watching my private heart performance.
Yeah, you know, like there's that moment where he's like scrambling to put mute and like move some tabs around before he picks up the call from Yar.
Riker's search term in the holographic database is MHH.
Sorry, ladies. Duty calls.
Something beaming in from Haven, he is told. Unlabeled. We do not know what it is, but it sounds like there's some kind of way that they can verify that it's not a bad thing based on some kind of electronic signature that they're receiving. And Troi comes in as this thing is energizing. It's a weird silver box with a face on it.
Transporter Chief Buffalo Bill beams this thing up and is like, is that a great big box I'm beaming up to the transporter room?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Maybe you can help me load this into one of the quarters.
Definitely do not let Buffalo Bill decide what to do with that box. He's going to terrorize it. I got a lot of questions about this box. Is it an automaton or is that like an actual guy? If it is a robot face on a box, why would you give the robot face teeth like that? Like, why a robot face in dire need of orthodontia?
I'm really glad you asked this question, and I'm really irritated that the episode has no answers about what this thing is.
Is that how they beat the uncanny valley? Like, mess up the teeth like a real person would have.
Rejoice!
Let's think about its utility for a second. Like, this is a special occasion item for a ceremony of great importance between two people. Are we supposed to think of this thing more as like a sculpture? Like, maybe this is an item that you display in your home after you're married, given its use in a context like this. And if you were made to do that, I think that's unfortunate, right? Like, God, where are we going to put the silver box, hon?
Yeah. You like drape a blanket over it before you do anything intimate in the bedroom.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't like this thing staring back at me in most circumstances.
It also seemed to kind of like lose its enthusiasm for the announcement it's making a little bit before it finished saying it.
I wonder how much of that is Armin Shimmerman shining through the performance, being like, I thought this would be a cool job, and now I don't.
His agent is like, hey, those guys on that Star Trek The Next Generation show really want you back.
Do you think he's laying on the ground on his stomach with his head tilted up and pushed through that box?
On his stomach. Ooh.
Or did they pull up a manhole cover on the transporter pad and he's like crouched underneath it?
That's what I'm going to guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a little bit of, because the transporter pad is up on a bit of a platform, so I feel like he could like stick his legs under that, and they probably have to put the box on him in situ, right? Like they have to like get him ready for the scene.
Yeah, he's not walking into the transporter room, head to the side, going through the doors so he can make it through.
Too much fucking shit on me. I can't breathe.
Does he get to trigger the little latch that dumps out all the beads?
That's why you take the job, I think. I think that's fun.
There's nothing more fun than dumping them out on camera.
Very true. Troi, not happy to see this box. Everyone is kind of delighted by it, kind of bemused by it maybe. Troi is devastated because she knows what this means. It means she is going to be married.
She has to explain this.
What does it mean, Deanna Troi? And also, will you help me shove this box into my quarters?
Do you think you probably want to keep a little lotion around or bring the luster out in the silver?
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth.
In the ready room, she's got to explain this situation to Picard and Riker, who have been sort of blindsided by the fact that their counselor is getting coupled up. This is the result of a long ago pact made between her family and Stephen Miller, her dad's buddy.
I think it's really interesting that the idea of genetic bonding as presented in this room to Picard is something he would find out very personally a few seasons from now in that episode with Famke Janssen, right?
Genetic bonding is not to be trifled with.
Yeah.
Picard is pretty cool about it. He's like, well, we're sad to see you go, but we love to watch you leave. Oh, gosh, I shouldn't have said it that way.
Why is Riker even in this meeting is a question I had at this moment. What is happening?
He throws his body into the wall with one of his legendary poses.
It looks like he twists the fabric a little bit.
Yeah.
On the soundproofing, too.
He's just devastated. And
yeah.
They have a conversation after Picard leaves the room. And Troy's like, okay, well, like, let's be honest. You've got one goal in life. It ain't me. You have other goals. I will stipulate to the fact that there are other things that you would like to have in your life, but they are all secondary to the main thing that you want. And if they are not compatible with that thing, you don't want them anymore. There's
a lot that's laughable about Frakes' physical comedy, what I'm going to call comedy in reaction to this news. Very Paul Rudd and Wet Hot American Summer, like the way he throws his body around in grief.
I have to say, like, that sort of sounded like a dunk coming from you. I think parenthetical complimentary.
Yeah, that's how I mean it.
It seems like Frakes is having a fucking hoot in this episode.
There is something he does seriously in this to convey how he's feeling that I never caught the first few times I watched this episode, which is the moment he swallows mid-dialogue to convey emotional devastation. The way that when you're choked up a little bit, you never can really predict when the hitch happens in what you're trying to say. He does that here in a way that I really think is next level.
Data comes in to let Troi know it's time to meet the Millers. And we go down to the transporter room where Stephen Miller and his wife beam up with their son, Wyatt. And he has brought like a hypercolor rose for Deanna Troi. I wish this rose had stayed in her hands for way longer and like gone crazy every time her mom did something out of pocket.
We're told it changes color, but like the color of lubricant is what it turns into very quickly here. I love how this, like, you go into an arranged marriage story thinking like before meeting the other person, you're like, this person is going to suck and they're going to be ugly and bad. But when Wyatt shows up, it's almost like, uh-oh, Wyatt's kind of good looking, even though he's dressed like a car cover.
California car cover, 9525 DeSoto Avenue, Chatsworth.
He's a little bit of a baddie, and he is also like emotionally intelligent in a way that his parents super aren't. he's trying to figure out a way to kind of ditch them and get them out of the picture because it is revealed that Troi's mom is also going to be beaming up and will not deign to be around them when she arrives.
Do they have to fuck the box? Like I wonder if like there's a wedding night thing about the box we're not thinking about. Like when you bust, the box is supposed to bust out all those jewels.
What's going on?
That's fun.
You think that was like the box has a little bit of erectile dysfunction?
Little premature ejaculation on the jewels. The Millers are escorted out of there, which makes room for Lwaxana, Troi, and Mr. Hom to beam aboard. One thing I didn't notice the first time I saw this episode was how Mr. Hom strikes his head on the ceiling of the transporter pad when he appears. Carol Stryken is doing so many weird, interesting things in the background of every scene he's in. It's really worthwhile to just pay attention to him and his performance this episode.
He and Frakes clearly seem to be just enjoying this all immensely.
Yeah.
There's a Picard carry the luggage gag.
What the hell is all that?
It's Her Royal Highness's Met's luggage!
This is like Troi is holding the rose here and it stays white. And I was just like, come on, like, give me something with this fucking... This is the remaster. Like, you can go in and object track that rose and make it whatever you want it to be.
Speaking of give me something, in the corridor, Data and Geordi see Picard struggling with this giant case. And initially I was like, why doesn't Data help him? But then I was like, why would he? Every time Data does a little bit extra, there's Picard to smash him in the Data nuts. I actually kind of respect and understand how unwilling Data is to involve himself in the situation.
So a couple of things that leapt out to me in this scene that I don't think I've given much thought in the past. One is that there's been some conversation already about whether Troi is going to talk to her mom telepathically or out loud. And Lwaxana does not like Deanna's accent because she says it reminds her too much of her dad's.
Your last valet tried so hard to rid me of it. Whatever happened to Mr. Zilo?
My understanding is that Marina Sirtis kind of made this accent up. This was just something that she came up with for the character that there wasn't much to go on. So she was like, oh, what if I play her with a slightly alien accent because she comes from a different planet? And I feel like then they had to write something about that when Majel Barrett showed up to play her mom because Majel Barrett either didn't want to or couldn't mimic it.
It's a wonder I made it here at all.
Isn't there something familiar about the tension of two people who speak the same language in the same space as people who don't speak that language, and about how there is an implied lack of politeness about that choice being made?
What they say.
They made a derogatory comment about me.
I play in a lot of card rooms where there are people from other countries there, and it's a fucking rule. You're not supposed to speak in a language that's not English at the table because it's both impolite and also a suggestion of a cheating opportunity.
Right. You're code talking.
And doesn't it feel a little bit related to that to have two people who can talk telepathically kind of have a tension about whether or not to do that in front of people who can't? I just thought that was an interesting thread woven in moments between these two characters throughout the episode.
The other thread that gets plunged into the fabric here is that Lwaxana's previous valet got let go because his thoughts about her had become too pornographic. So that's why Mr. Hom got the job.
Nothing sexualized about Mr. Hom in any way.
However you want it.
I'm hung like Hom, your mom's porter.
Troi has to kind of mind scold her mom, and they get them to the quarters, and Picard has just got to get out of here. He ducks out at the first moment that there's an opportunity.
I really like Patrick Stewart acting comedically here. I mean, you called attention to Frakes doing that throughout the episode, but I think this is a great episode for Stewart to do that as well. Really fun.
I'll see what I can do.
They talk about how this radical candor that is the Beta Z way is sort of maladaptive, and that's something that Lwaxana has a hard time wrapping her mind around. Why do you not do more telepathy around here? And Troi is I can't, because humans are always thinking one thing and saying another, and it would drive me fucking nuts if I opened my mind up enough to contain all of that stuff all the time. And maybe lay off. Maybe you don't know what my life is like.
I think it's really interesting that once they're alone, Troi's mom apologizes to her about what's happening. And at least the projection that Troi is making about how she's feeling is that she's fine with what's going on. She made these vows as a young person, and she's going to stick to the vows. One thing I think is really funny about the difference between production and release schedule for these episodes is that in the last episode of TNG, Deanna Troi was absent from that episode because she was visiting her mom. And to think about the idea that when they were together, they never discussed this. And Troi is fucking blindsided by this news, I think is great.
She's like, oh, so you're telling me Stephen Miller from a very far distance made a decision about what somebody's life was going to be like, and now we're just going with that? Cool.
It's a guiding principle with Starfleet is based. If you can't find it within yourself to stand up, tell the truth, you don't deserve to wear that uniform.
On the bridge, they get a FaceTime from Haven telling them that an incoming vessel has them a little spooked because it hasn't responded to any messages, and Haven doesn't have any defensive capabilities. So they're kind of hoping that Enterprise does that thing that Federation affiliation sort of promises, like a ship is going to defend you in moments like these.
It's pretty sweet that you guys are here, actually. Good timing, because this thing is freaking us out. And Picard's like, all right, well, we'll look into it. Nothing to concern yourself with too much.
Troi might as well have a hang with her future husband, right? She goes over to Wyatt Miller's quarters.
Who's Wyatt?
And has to apologize for her mom's behavior. That's a good way to start, I think.
Hanging a lantern on the thing that made it a little bit uncomf earlier is a nice move. And I also just thought it was like kind of personally brave of her to go do this. Like, she didn't wait for him to come to her. This is her home turf, and she makes a point of going to like make him feel welcome and get to know him and talk about the kind of strange circumstances that they have both found themselves in.
They both are kind of in a rush to find common ground. Like, it's a speed date, right?
Totally.
What are the things we have in common that we can at least begin to talk about so this isn't so fucking awkward?
They both are in the caring professions. He's a physician. She's a psychologist.
Wyatt nudges the Dianetics hardback book beneath some clothes. Like, gonna save that conversation for later.
Man, I don't know what happened, but Scientology got it in some database recently that my house is home to a woman named Susan, who is a practicing Scientologist.
Are you getting the magazines?
I get 5 or 6 things every fucking day. Like magazines, pamphlets, go do this thing in Florida, take this class to get yourself up the ladder.
When we lived in Seattle, I was on their mailing list when we lived up there for whatever reason. And I got their magazines, and Ben, they are fucking great. Great magazines. Like, if you had no idea what they were about, like great glossy paper, thick ass 60-page monthly issues showing shit around the world. They have a lot of money.
I got to look at one. They're going right in the recycling at the moment I get them. I don't even know, is that illegal? Am I doing the wrong thing?
You're not even curious to open them up?
Just, there's so many. It's so fucking many. It's insane how many things I get. Like, by far the largest amount of mail I have ever received, and it's not for me. It's for Susan.
You know what's funny is I remember telling you about this when we were recording shows when I was in Seattle and you were in New York. And as soon as that episode aired, the magazine stopped coming.
Whoa.
Wow. I really do feel like there was a cause and effect to that. So maybe they will stop coming as a result of this episode.
Yeah. Check your records, creepy Sea Org person that is listening. Speaking of awkward, Adam, she puts her foot in her mouth a little bit about the presence of another previous lover of hers on the ship. And She's like, you don't have to worry about him. He mostly just wants to fuck a starship at this point. But, it's a little bit of a speed bump for them. And she quickly changes the subject to his artwork. He has set up a little, shrine almost.
The restraint of Deanna Troi not to begin with the artwork on the nightstand. Good job by her.
Speaking of finding a slightly embarrassing book on his shelf, this is kind of feels like finding his jack-off material. The first date is not where you trot out your fantasy woman to the person who isn't that.
But it's so interesting that Hyatt does not attempt to lie or make up some story about why the first thing he does when he gets to the hotel room is take out his pictures of a fantasy woman and arrange them on the nightstand next to his bed. He knows he's caught because he knows the reputation of Betazoids.
Yeah, he definitely seems to come preloaded with a deeper understanding of how to act around her than any of the crew, even including Riker, I want to say.
Really interesting that there's a bit of a misunderstanding here, because he thought that because Betazoids can share their thoughts over long distances, that these images came from her, which is why there was a little bit of a disconnect when they first met each other, because this woman looks like who he expected to meet when he stepped off the transporter pad. Which is another sort of conversation that is really hard to have in a speed dating type conversation. You almost shouldn't say that. Ever.
What's the opposite of an icebreaker? Ice cube tray?
Yeah. Yeah. Holy moly. Picard's log sounds like he's eating during the recording of it, telling us that his hands are tied on this whole Deanna Troi getting married thing.
He doesn't like or respect Betazoid customs. He thinks they're stupid, but he has to observe them. So we finally get this ship on long range, and they can zoom really fucking far in with this Enterprise D.
Enhance.
They magnify, and it looks like it's right there, but they're saying it's hours away because it's traveling at subwarp speed. And unfortunately, this ship does not have lines that they like seeing. The silhouette matches a Tyrellian type of ship, and there's kind of a dun-dun-dun. Everybody knows that Tyrellian means this isn't a good deal.
That's because they're supposed to be dead. And there's a McLaughlin group in the observation lounge to talk about it.
Issue 1.
We learned that Tyrella was Earth-like a long time ago, and they got into a war using chemical weapons. These weapons caused a virus that acted like a plague, and as soon as they were infected by this plague, this is the weird detail about it, the plague did not kill them as much as their species was hunted down and exterminated before they could spread it to other species and worlds.
Well, they a few of them got onto other planets, and everybody there died. So at a certain point, they were like, all right, if you see some Tyrellians, get them because it's too dangerous.
It's like the daisy cutter scene in the cold open of Outbreak. They're just dropping these things to and fro on the Tyrellians.
This McLaughlin group is one of the most egregious passing the exposition around scenes I can remember seeing in a long time, because it's and then in the story, it goes like this, and yes, and we learned at the Academy that this happened after that, and Picard says, yes, well, I didn't learn that at the Academy because I was there a little bit earlier than these events transpired, but I have been keeping abreast of the news about the Tyrellians, and this is what I think about that.
I'm Basil Exposition with British Intelligence.
Interesting tension here that their treaty with Haven is such that they've got to defend it, but Federation policy, being the umbrella over all interactions, stipulates that they've got to help species in need, like the Tyrellians. So what are they going to do?
Tricky decision, bearing down on them, but not fast.
They have 13 hours.
Exactly. 13 hours, 9 minutes, 22 seconds, 350... Thank you.
So, party time?
I mean, I would wait 10 or 11 hours before I even start thinking about this one.
The way Riker huffs off when they explain what the party is going to be really does not drape himself in glory in this episode.
Before Picard even finishes talking, Riker's out the door. Brutal.
Engage.
We cut over to that party Picard's talking about, where Lwaxana is a loud and obnoxious host, as if she's been overserved. I love how it helps me understand Lwaxana Troi more, and I think her character becomes more palatable if I just compare her to every person I've encountered who's had too much to drink.
Yeah.
Before, you know?
Here I thought you had no sense of humor.
Too much to drink lady hosting a party is a very specific type, and I really think that she's playing into that.
Yeah.
That's a fun vibe. Like, too much to drink lady that's hosting a party is fucking great. And she's great, but she's also not backing down from her convictions. And one of the convictions she has is that this wedding is going to be done in the traditional style of Betazoids. And that runs right up against the Millers asking Picard if he'll do a human-style ceremony for them. And a big fracas breaks out over this. And there's, like, Brent Spiner, like, speaking of people who are having a great time in this episode, Brent Spiner just kind of, like, getting little react shots over the course of these scenes, and he's just soaking up the drama. He loves every bit of it. He's like, num, 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 num. I want to, like, hear Andy Cohen's reaction to this. I want to go back and watch what happens live and talk to him about the whole thing.
Bitches is mad.
It's the happy privilege of starship captains to break up a fight between in-laws at a party. And Picard's got to jump in here and break this one up.
I don't know about your mother-in-law, but mine would not be satisfied with somebody just declaring all disagreements resolved.
Mother-in-law or not, a person who really wants to argue would not take this as a reason to stop.
I think that speaks well of both parties, that they're like, I mean, we'd rather have a nice time and party.
Sure.
So, speaking of partying, Mr. Hom is kind of going ham.
But Hom can't even talk.
He is drinking all kinds of different shit in all types of different colors. And it's gone from a standing around cocktail hour part of the party to more of a formal sit-down dinner party vibe. And things turn to current events, which can be awkward when you're kind of like getting two families together. You don't really know what people's politics look like yet. And Wyatt is very curious about this Tyrellian ship and the virus, and he's like, I'm a physician, so if there's like anything I could do to help, maybe I could get some supplies together and we could beam those over to them. Just spitballing here.
There seems to be some nice professional compatibility happening between he and Dr. Crusher. They're making plans for later, and that's good. It's like one of the only scenes in the entire episode where two people who don't know each other that well are getting along and collaborating on a thing.
Barely anybody is getting along in this episode. Picard jumps down Data's throat for being weird. And I guess he doesn't have like a seat at the table because he's not going to eat. So he's just kind of like hovering and expressing his curiosity a little too openly.
Perhaps being human yourself, sir, you do not find them as intriguing as I.
It's a great point you bring up, because it would be more awkward if he were just sitting at the table without a plate in front of him, like hands clasped in his lap.
Right.
That's no good.
The situation with Data is like the exact situation that non-drinkers find themselves in at parties. Like, this is why there are so many like non-alcoholic cocktails and things on the market now. Because it's just like, it feels weird to be like standing it around at one of these things, not holding a beverage.
What Data needs is a pen, like a Bob Dole style pen. Whatever version of that is for Data. Data doesn't need a seat at the table. Data's just going to go stand next to Mr. Hom and bang the gong. That's all Data needs to do.
Actually, Bob Dole just likes to hear Bob Dole talk about Bob Dole. Bob Dole.
Lwaxana and Victoria get back into it over their different visions for this wedding. And this is where Lwaxana decides that she hates Mrs. Miller so much that she's going to freak her out with this weird plant wrapped around her arm.
I've forgotten whether you enjoy pets or not. Love them, of course.
Doesn't this feel straight out of TOS?
Yeah.
I think even the sound it makes as it moves is familiar. As folks who have watched TOS episodes recently, this felt in keeping with that idea. I was expecting it to bust in her face, like a bunch of fungal spores, you know?
I mean, what we know about Betazoid plants, I feel like busting in faces may be on the table for this type of thing.
You see, that sap running through the veins helps keep it warm.
We learn a little bit about how Betazoid weddings go down when Data asks the question, and that sets off a whole nother round of squabbles, and Troi kind of boils over, and she storms out of the room, smacking the Betazoid chime off of Mr. Ham's high table as she goes.
Has this ever happened to you? A gathering like this totally explodes?
It hasn't, but it feels like such a trope in TV, and it happens all the time on my Bravo shows. So I believe it, you know. I believe it when I see it.
Yeah, it's especially difficult when you've come to enjoy and appreciate characters in a show that you like. You know, not being in this sort of emotional entanglement where they like intentionally hurt each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the way this seems to be going.
Riker's having a little hang in the holodeck. It's kind of an interesting configuration he's got going here. He's left the arch visible, but the door appears and disappears. And Troi comes in, and he left under the pretext that he was going to go do some prep on this Torellian issue, but no, he's just in here bumming out about no more Imzadi.
What do you make of that lie? Like that he could lie like that?
It's a total fabrication.
I wish at some point later in the episode, Picard had been like, Riker, you've done a little work on this. What do you think? And he'd be like, How
great are the colors in this scene? I know we've talked a little bit before about like the green psych is so, you know, of its time. But like, even though I know what they're doing here,
yeah,
and when it's just boulders and sand and a psych, your ceiling on that can be pretty low. The colors they chose for this scene I thought were really beautiful and really served the mood of what's happening here.
It's a kind of sad goodbye, and it feels like a very intimate, personal moment for these two characters. And I was so surprised at how welcoming they were when Wyatt crashed the party.
I'm not going to agree with you completely about that because there's something a little ugly about Troi wanting it both ways. Like, she is going to marry this dude. She knows that Will Riker loves her in a way that is more than friendship, and that she is in his bum out program, wondering if and hoping for Riker to still have love for her, even though she's going to go through with this, I feel is a little unfair. I didn't love that for her character.
I mean, she kind of radical candors it. She tells everybody exactly what's in her head. And I think that it's also not a great moment for Riker's character because Wyatt is so unthreatened by Riker.
And why is he even fucking there? Get out of my bum out program, Wyatt.
It really feels like shit when you are in your feelings and the person you're in your feelings about is like, hey man, like that's just the way it is and it's cool and does not crash out in the way that you're crashing out. It's a tough look for Riker.
If you'll excuse me.
Of course. Running all this is a big job.
He leaves an awkward hang once again. Like all he's doing is leaving awkward hangs this episode.
He like hands the awkward hang off and Wyatt's like, hey, great news. You yelling and screaming at everybody made them realized that they needed to squash the beef, and we're getting halfsies. We're doing a ceremony that brings our two beautiful cultures together at last.
Yeah, speaking of squashed beefs, Dad's going to be naked, Mom will not be. That's the split.
I'm going to have my shirt on and no pants. You'll have a skirt and no shirt, and Picard will be conducting the ceremony, and Mr. Ham will presumably come in and like do a reading or something.
One of the great decisions this episode makes is making Wyatt not seem so bad, right? He's pretty cool in most of these scenes. And especially when he asks Deanna Troi whether or not she still wants to go through with this thing. It definitely seems like there's a choice in the matter and she gets to make it. And if she were to make the choice to not go through with it, he would respect it.
The escape hatches are still there. And this is a really good scene for presenting Wyatt as like a real possibility. Like you really feel in this moment like, yeah, Troi could Like, it feels like Troi is leaving the show because she's going to go get married to this guy.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
It is so unfortunate that in a scene that begins like that, it ends with a kiss where they barely touch lips. And you can predict based on the amount of passion here that there's going to be very disappointing lovemaking in their future. I just don't know if this is a problem with Rob Knepper's relationship with Marina Sirtis, like if they just could not get on that sort of make out on TV level where it made me believe. But the kiss kind of ruined whatever thought I had about them being a real thing, especially after a beginning of a scene that made it seem like, yeah, that there could be a real possibility there.
I went back and watched this a couple of times because it is the kind of on-screen kiss that we've seen so many times in TV where the gentleman puts his hand on the lady's shoulder. But unmistakably, as he raises his hand, he pauses over her right breast and then puts his hand up on her shoulder. Like, man, this makeout almost went in a much different direction.
Not a chance.
Still no comms from the Tyrellian ship, and the Electorine down on Haven calls up again and is like, all right, like, they're getting really close now. Pretty close to transporter range, and that's kind of the red line, right? Like, you got to keep them out of transporter range, because if they get down here, all hell is going to break loose.
She's not talking about preventing them from getting closer. She's talking about destroying that ship. And I thought that was an interesting conversational detail. We know exactly what she wants out of this.
Picard's not going to go for that, even when Yar suggests that she could, like, punch them really hard so that they, like, bounce in the other direction.
Yeah.
Instead, they're going to use a tractor, and I thought that the tractor beam stuff with the Stargazer in the recent episode looked really good, and this looked like shit. Like, when they tractor this ship, it just looks really bad.
I wonder if it had to do with, like, effect on effect here, because with the Stargazer, we're working with models.
Yeah.
But with the Tyrellian ship, there's, like, that globy... What is that thing you find at a science museum that gives you the static...
Yeah.
You know, that thing.
Is that called a Tesla coil, or is a Tesla coil something else?
No, I think that's Tesla coil. You're right.
Yeah. The second they get the tractor on, though, Yar's like, all right, they can't beam down. And these guys finally get on screen. And it's really bad. They got to, like, adjust the rapid ears over the main viewer. Like, everybody hold in a particular position so they get good reception.
What are you doing this for? Look at you. Quiet, I'm trying to get a picture.
And when it resolves on the screen, it is a stunning reveal.
It's the woman in Wyatt's drawings.
I love the idea that on the Tyrellian ship, there was probably a conversation about who's the first face we're going to show the other ship. And how Ren rightly chooses Ariana to be that face.
Put her out in front, you know?
Ren's the sort of face that you have convincing you to put on an all-white garment and white tennis shoes and eat poison applesauce before the comet comes, you know?
The thing I have in my notes is he looks more like Stephen Miller than Stephen Miller.
Truly.
He wants to know if Wyatt can come to the phone, and he does. He comes up on the bridge, and he's just stunned to see this lady.
We get an incredible reaction from Troi, but what I wanted so badly, Ben, was a cutaway to Riker, who is on the bridge.
It would have been really funny if they'd figured out a way to make Riker, like, go really hard at this woman.
Oh, that's funny. As a sport.
A fuck you to
I mean, if there was ever an opportunity for the show to go full Office, it's like when Ariana shows up on screen and Riker to, like, look at the camera.
And she's like, I've been imagining and drawing this man my whole life, but this other man is just such a source of raw sexual power.
You see on a couple of occasions what the 8 survivors look like. None of them look like Ariana in age or beauty. And that has got to be such a bummer if you think about what her life must be like.
Picard is like, all right, well, we had to throw a tractor on you guys because we don't want you sicking up Haven. And they're like, hey, we're not trying to sick anything up. We just want like a peninsula or an island that's like pretty far away. We're just going to go and like sit on the beach until we croak. Like, we don't want to expose anybody to this either.
The idea that they don't need to explain the idea of leper colony to Picard is really funny to me. Like, because Picard is like, well, I'll ask. I'll ask Haven if they're okay with this.
Let me run that up the flagpole.
Ren honestly seems good either way here about this request. And that is a little bit of a hint about what they're really after here.
No matter what you decide, I'm dead anyway.
Sort of a leper colony make-a-wish scenario here, isn't it?
It's everything but the little boy in the Batman costume.
So Wyatt goes to kick it to Lwaxana. He's like, I'm really tripping off of seeing this lady and all of the like life experiences I've had leading up to this. And she says something that sounds very Traveler to me.
All life, Wyatt, all consciousness is indissolubly bound together. Indeed, it's all part of the same thing.
And like, you are connected to this woman via this larger structure that is invisible to us. And it may be, in fact, your destiny.
It is so interesting that if this were a new Star Trek series, this would be what the entire season is about.
It would maybe be what the entire series was about until they forgot about it and did something else like midway through season 3.
I also thought it was really interesting how Wyatt talks to Lwaxana about these concerns in a way that I think is familiar to folks who like don't ask their parents for advice about a thing, but like another adult or like a parent's friend about a situation. I thought this was grounded in a familiar reality.
He's her protege. She's his mentor.
Yeah.
Later in sickbay, he seems a little bit weird as he's packing up the 2 small boxes of medical supplies that he has prepared to beam over to these needy people.
The detail of him wearing the car cover outfit that he arrived to the ship in, I think is also very telling. Like, wearing the clothes of arrival suggests these are the clothes for departure too, right?
Yeah.
That extra hypo spray seems unnecessary and unrelated to the mission too, huh? Maybe just an extra.
Yoink! Why'd you wait for Beverly to leave before you got that? Anyway, Wyatt goes around and says some goodbyes. It kind of feels like a confusing moment for his folks. Like, they're like, huh? What? Like, they've not done the math on what he plans.
Didn't they? Let's talk about this scene for a little bit, because this is the wedding rehearsal space. His parents are in there, and so is Deanna Troi. Everyone seems to understand where he's going and what he's doing, I think, and no one tries to stop him. How could they not know what he's doing? Troi especially, who has demonstrated the ability to have that sort of facility with getting into a person's mind.
I really felt like Troi knew what he was doing, and the parents had not any fucking idea, because they are like so on the rails for this wedding in that way that the parents of the bride and groom can be, that they can't even like conceive of anything outside of the wedding.
Look at your father, Wyatt. He just can't wait to strip off his clothes for that barbaric ceremony.
I thought they sucked.
Yeah.
I thought they knew and they let him go. Which is what made the scene that followed with them taking such great umbrage with Picard not going and getting him back from the Turellian ship seem kind of performative.
Mm-hmm.
How could you let this happen? My son surrounded by those horrible ex-lepers.
Did you say ex-leper?
In the transporter room, he finds the transporter chief looking into a mirror saying, "Would you hypo-spray me? I'd hypo-spray me so fucking hard."
His legs are like crossed in front of himself. He's like, I wasn't expecting anyone to come in here.
Dr. Crusher had me set the coordinates. All we need is the captain's order.
That guy goes down pretty hard. Wyatt did not really catch him.
Yeah.
And on the bridge, Geordi's like, ooh, somebody's beaming over to that ship. And Picard's like, stop them. And Geordi's like,
I can't!
Wyatt arrives over there. There's like one little transporter pad on the Torellian ship, and he steps off of it and starts going down a hallway that is decorated with all of these pencil and paper drawings of him.
It's like Main Street Disneyland drawings of himself. How about that?
Yeah, she has like a very similar art style to him, almost as if the person that drew all of the pictures in this episode was the same person.
He transcends time and space.
He sickens me.
Ren's the first to greet, backed up by all 8 crew people.
I wondered why all of them were in that very specific color of blue, except for one lady was in pink.
Yeah. Wonder what that means.
What's her job? Or is she in trouble? Did she lose a bet?
You're the closest to die, and you're given the pink garment.
He's very brave. They're pretty excited to have him there.
I love when you rewatch this scene, Ariana is in there the whole time, just like hiding for drama behind one of the other characters. And when she pops out, shit is just electric between her and Wyatt.
Good casting, good chemistry, more chemistry than that kiss.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see them kiss? Nah.
Mrs. Miller comes at Picard pretty hard about this. And Troi kind of salts the wound with the disease is so serious that he can never come back. He will be on that ship for the rest of his life.
On the view screen, this Wyatt and Ariana thing goes public.
Yeah, they really hard launch on Maine.
Ren wants the tractor beam turned off because what they really came for was Wyatt. And Wyatt's going to stay there to find a cure for their plague or die trying. And it is a hell of a time for some fun wordplay, isn't it, Ben? Because when he says that it was Ariana that drew him to that place, you got to respect it.
Well, it's been real Enterprise, but we got to go. Arrivederci, and the Torellians move off. And pretty awkward to say goodbye to the Millers as they beam away.
They don't even seem that sad.
Keep the chest. You'll have use for it someday.
Rejoice!
They watched their son basically commit suicide.
Suicide by Babe.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were in an emotional place to give him to somebody else. So maybe they were just ready in a way.
I also feel like the dad gets it too. God, I get it.
You saw what she looked like, right?
He's a Miller, all right. Up top.
I don't care what she's got. I would go for it too.
I mean, we're all only alive for a certain amount of time.
Wouldn't you like to die doing something you love?
You guys are getting paid?
Loxana and Mr. Hom are next. She would like to, she already put a deposit on the catering, so she's like, maybe I could, marry somebody else? We given any consideration to that? No, we're not doing that, and no refunds. You got to go, Loxana.
Pretty great how she gets, multiple ball shots on Picard before leaving.
I was not amused.
Just the ultimate.
Hom thanks them for the drinks. One of my favorite Frakes reacts of all time. And Loxana, gets one back over on Picard after all of those ball shots.
Captain, even Zeno never had such thoughts about me.
Get his ass, Loxana. I love this. And it's time to warp away. And Picard has a very awkward construction here because he says, our destiny is elsewhere, but I'm glad. And he turns to Deanna Troi, yours is right here. It's wait, is it elsewhere or is it here? Is her destiny with you or isn't it?
Confined to the chair to my left for another 7 seasons.
Data swivels around and is like, Captain, I'm a little bit confused about the syntax.
What an episode.
I think our childhood reactions to Loxana episodes were very, very heavily influential on the way we thought about her when we were watching this series for the pod for the first time. And I think that by the end of her arc on TNG and DS9, she really charmed us and won us over. as a character in a way that I really never expected. I never expected to come around on her having graded on what a chaos agent she was as a kid. I wonder how you're feeling about that, though. Like, are you kind of feeling more open to Lwaxana this time, or am I mischaracterizing?
Well, I think the reason that you and I came around on her was that she was given an arc to experience loss and grief, and more than just one or two bright and loud emotions to convey. I mean, the moment she became a whole character was the moment I respected and liked her. And I will fully admit that starting now and for several episodes, I didn't like her. I thought she was grating and annoying and disrespectful. But in retrospect, like, knowing what we know about her, there is a whole person in there. And I think it makes her more palatable from jump to watch TNG and go through the motions with her. She's harmless in a way that the first time through, I did not believe she was. I thought she was harming the episode and making them worse in a way I no longer believe.
It's sort of a test of the bearing of the crew every time she comes aboard in a way that, like, very few other characters ever do on this show. And I think that like, the danger of that felt like really vivid to me as a kid. Like, I just want Picard and everybody to be able to, like, do the science fiction without being bothered by this chaotic force.
Yeah, these became genre episodes when she was there. Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of love that as a genre now that I think of it in that way.
For sure. And, I mean, Majel Barrett's really funny.
She is.
When you give yourself over to her chaos in her performance, like, it's a really fun hang.
Well, Adam, it's also always a fun hang in the Priority One inbox, and we're going to go check that out. And when we come back, got a game for you that could affect future episodes of the show.
All right.
Priority One message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Need a supplemental income. Supplemental income? Supplemental. Yeah, it's extra.
The interest alone could be enough to buy this ship.
Adam, this is a promotional Priority One message. It goes like this. I've been a just a little bit embarrassed viewer since episode 6. My eternal thanks to Cyrus and Ars Technica for that article. And I'm excited for two things. One, to finally be done with Enterprise, whose 5-year mission is to seek out new life, but be really pissed off about it. And two, to see Greatest Trek go independent again now that you have 10 years under your belt. Good luck and Godspeed on the journey. The whole team is incredible. I am glad I get to tag along. Engage! Maggie O'Callaghan drop.
Would you like to hold my hand? Would you like to kiss me?
Oh, good morning, boys.
The spirits have turned her into a cow.
I'm not quite myself today.
Oh?
What kind of a girl do you think I am?
Bitch, I'm a cargo moon.
I was walking around town with nothing but a bell around my neck. Everyone was staring at me.
A very nice message from Trevor, and Trevor's call to action is, if you haven't yet, subscribe and become an official friend of DeSoto. In the words of Chris Pine's Kirk, do it, do it, do it!
Pretty great from Trevor. Thanks for sticking with us through our page turn into independence. Thanks for being a supporter.
And if you want to follow Trevor's advice, you can smash the button in the show notes. Become a member today.
You get ad-free episodes and a whole lot more. Ben, we got a personal message here from Carl in Alaska, and it's to all y'all. Here's how that goes. Hi, Ben and Adam and crew. I haven't been listening to any pods at all since the start of March because she, who is my wife, and I just had twins. You're not supposed to say it like that when they're babies, right?
A boy.
Oh, the girl.
Anyway, I hope nothing significant happens to the show while I'm away. Here's to everyone struggling with infertility or morning sickness or NICU stays or stereo screaming. I never thought another human would actually fart on me repeatedly, or that I'd be so happy every time. Blessed are the toots. Both your life choices are utterly sound. Congrats on boldly going rogue.
Congrats, Carl in Alaska. That's great. So happy for you.
Yeah, how about that?
My wife's mom is a twin, which meant that my wife had a much higher than average potential to have twins when she got pregnant. And before she got pregnant, we were like, wouldn't that be cool? Like, have 2 kids at the same time? And the second we had one, I was like, oh man, this is a lot. Can you imagine if there were 2 of them?
If you had twins, would you call them twins? Like all the time? You'd have to, right?
Yeah. Our friend and agent used to live next door to a family who had triplets. And that made a huge impression on me because we had a little baby at the time. And, seeing what that looked like from a great distance was intense.
Triples is better. Triples is safe.
Funnier number. Speaking of third things, this is a Priority 1 message from Millsy, and it's to Adam and Ben. It goes like this. I tried. I really did. But it is not Terry Garr's birthday. It is not the anniversary of her Star Trek episode. Today is, sadly, not related to Terry Garr in the slightest. But what my theory presupposes is, Terry Garr drop anyways?
Well, how do you expect me to type?
Not with your fingers.
With my nose?
Would have definite advantages.
Look, it's typing everything I'm saying.
Not with your fingers.
They'll destroy you.
Do you see that? With my nose?
There it sits.
Stop it!
Everything you have done, stop. With your fingers. Stop. With your fingers.
Well, how do you expect me to type? With my nose?
Stop.
Stop it!
Stop.
Stop it!
Stop.
Stop it! My nose!
Stop it.
You thought you could handle it. So handle it.
That does it, I quit!
Thanks. It has always been my favorite.
Mine too, Millsy.
I think you're right on that one, Millsy. That is a banger drop, one of the all-timers. I appreciate everyone who left a Priority 1 message on the show today. If you would like to join them in immortalizing an episode of the show, you can do it by going to greatestrek.com or podshop.biz. Right there at the top of the screen on podshop.biz. Click, 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 and you're in.
How are FODs supposed to write the Priority 1 messages, Ben? With their nose?
Yeah, that would work. All right, Adam. Talked a little bit about Carol Strachan, the towering Dutch actor who played Mr. Hom.
Mm-hmm.
7'1".
God, amazing. I know I said this on a previous episode of some kind, but something like a quarter of all people who are over 7 feet tall have played in the NBA. Like a fucking stunning ratio of 7-footers who have ever lived have played in the NBA.
I don't believe he has, but I'm going to challenge you today to answer 5 multiple choice questions about him in a game I'm calling A Giant of Cinema.
Okay.
Striking game, hit the lights. Mr. Hom is a delight. The transporter ceiling he'll hit. On with the game, this is it.
Adam, you need 3 correct answers to win. Your prize? You get to be called the star of the show for an additional 2 episodes that I host. But if you don't quite get it over that threshold, you will need to write and create a recording of a slash fic involving at least 2 characters from this episode, with at least one of them being a guest star. Are you ready to play?
Okay, you're giving me constraints for this. This is slash fiction you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
You came at me and missed the first time you had a punishment like this.
I hope I don't miss. I mean, I try to make these fair, You ready for your first question, Adam?
Hit me.
Carol Strachan was born in The Hague, but grew up on which Caribbean island? A, Aruba. B, Barbados. C, Curacao. D, Douglas Key.
You're doing multiple choice questions with 4 choices as the answer? Diabolical. Something about D hit me. about that.
Douglas Key.
Douglas Key. It's too weird. Weird like Carol Struyken. So I'm going to go with that one.
Adam, you are incorrect. Carol Struyken spent his childhood on the island of Curacao.
Curacao. Like the liqueur?
Like the liqueur. It is named for a variety of orange that grows on that island.
That's fun.
Carol Struyken appeared not just in television and movies, but also in a music video for which nu metal band? A, Korn, B, Slipknot, C, Limp Bizkit, D, Stained.
When did he die?
He is still alive, Adam.
Oh, God, really?
Carol Struyken is with us.
The math I was doing in my head was like, I wanted to pick an earlier band or a band with earlier popularity, just sort of presuming that he had already left us.
Yeah.
Wow, so it could be any of these.
Could be any.
I think the funny answer is Slipknot, so I'm going to say Slipknot.
That is the funny answer. Sadly, he was in a music video for Korn.
Oh.
For their song Adidas.
Oh, shit. It has been a long time since I've seen that video.
Yeah, it's the one where they're all dead in a car crash and then they get zipped into body bags and start going nuts.
I should have had that one. That was right there for me. I watched a lot of music videos around the time that one was popular. Missed it.
Okay, you got to get all three correct to win at this point. You got 3 questions left.
Okay.
How many Addams Family films did Carol Struyken appear in as Lurch the butler? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4.
3.
You are correct. He appeared in the 1991 Addams Family, 1993's Addams Family Values, a movie I did not know existed before I made this quiz. Addams Family Reunion.
Yeah.
From 1998, starring Tim Curry and Daryl Hannah as Morticia and Gomez. Gonna have to look that one up.
Pretty great. Yeah. I knew there were 3 Addams Family movies.
Struyken has a pretty amazing LA story. He was going to AFI studying directing and was discovered at the corner of Hollywood and Vine by a woman who abandoned her car in traffic to catch up to him and put him in something. What production was she helping find a cast for?
What a moment. What a dream.
A, the film version of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. B, Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. C, the comedy film Die Laughing. Or D, Star Trek The Next Generation.
I'm going to remove Star Trek The Next Generation from consideration. What was the first one?
First one is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I don't like that one either.
I will tell you that he was in all of the things that I listed.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you any red herring things. It's basically a question of which of these came out first.
It's the remaining ones are Star Wars and...
Yeah, Star Wars The Battle... it's Star Wars Ewoks The Battle for Endor, which I think was a TV movie or a show or something.
See, that's the one I like, because I think he could be like you're not going to get original Chewie for the TV version. What you need is like someone who could wear the costume, and I feel like Carol could. I think that's going to be my choice. I'm going to go with that one.
Wrong!
Oh! Man, I really feel like I put that one together logically.
Yeah, it was. I thought your logic was good, but it was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 1978, I think.
Damn. All right.
Like, that's apparently how Ashton Kutcher got discovered, too. He was, like, walking his dog, and somebody was like, you should be in something.
I was so disappointed to move to LA, and that didn't happen to me.
I know. I was disappointed to move to LA, and that didn't happen to my dog.
Mm.
You know? I was like, he's got the look. He's got that it factor.
Your dog looked like Meg Ryan to me.
In every single different iteration from When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah. Yeah. When your dog barked at people, it sounded like Meg Ryan coming in in a deli.
Do you want to hear your last question just for shits and giggles?
For sure.
Struyken worked on 3 different productions with which actor who also portrayed Christopher Pike? Please answer with beeps, Adam. Beep for Bruce Greenwood. Beep beep for Anson Mount. beep, beep, beep for Jeffrey Hunter, and beep, 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 beep for Sean Kenny.
Beep.
Beep. Two beeps?
No, I just wanted to do a better beep than the first beep.
Okay.
I wanted to make it sound better.
You're correct, Adam. He was in Saint Elsewhere with Bruce Greenwood, a film called Servants of Twilight, and also Gerald's Game. All three had Bruce Greenwood and Mr. Hom, Carol Stryken in them.
All right.
2 out of 5. We are going to need something for the bonus feed to titillate as much as the dreams that Wyatt and presumably Ariana were having when they were inspired to draw those pictures.
Okay. I can do that.
You can record it however you want, but that's your obligation for the bonus feed.
Gonna need to figure out how to get an ice desk involved. Because it's just not slash fiction to me unless there's a piece of cold furniture.
Well, this has been a ton of fun. We're going to leave the rest of the episode in the hands of our producer, Wynde Priddy. Take it away, Wynde. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wynde.
Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra.
The Greatest Generation is an Uxbridge Shimoda podcast. It's hosted by Adam Pranica and Ben Harrison. Ben also helped edit this week's episode, and the show is produced and edited by Wynde Priddy. Next week, we'll be back with another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, so don't forget your fedora. It's Season 1, Episode 12, The Big Goodbye. Thank you to all the members who are supporting this show. If you want to join them and get an ad-free feed, plus a lot of great bonus episodes, sign up at greatesttrek.com. You can also just click the support link in the show notes right there in your podcatcher, and we thank you for your support. Music for The Greatest Generation is by Dark Materia. Social media is managed by Bill Tilley and Rob Adler, who also puts together the Greatest newsletter every month. Visit podshop.biz to get signed up for that. You can also book a P1 there, and of course that helps the show too, so thanks. And along with our official social media pages on Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube, you can also check out one of the great FOD-run communities that are online. Those are on Facebook, Reddit, Discord, Mastodon, and Wikia. Go join a group of FODs and use the hashtag GreatestGen when you post about the show. Over on Greatest Trek right now, we've kicked off a little mini film festival centered on the year 1966. Search for Greatest Trek in your podcatcher if you're not already subscribed, and go check that out. That's all for now. We'll see you next week on The Greatest Generation.
Uxbridge
Shimoda.